Duncan Roy, you were on Sex Rehab with Dr. Drew, which I think is a totally different story because you're working on yourself, you're acknowledging your problems, you're being real. But, I mean, there's I think, an inherent problem when you got a guy with money problems and debt, and he's married to somebody whose entire success on this reality show is based on how lavish a lifestyle you can live.
You know, I've been in two different kinds of reality shows. I've just finished doing The A-List, which was a gay housewives of New York type of franchise thing. And, you know, my both experiences were very different. As you say, Dr. Drew has a lot of integrity. And you go in there and you do the work and you go through therapy. And, you know, it's less self-aggrandizing than going through the A-List situation, which was just a lie. I mean, you know, the worst thing that can happen to a reality show is that something real happens. And you know what? When people kill themselves, that's a kind of pretty real experience. And you know, what we're faced with today is that people get caught up in the fantasy of reality television and, you know, forgetting that it's real people's lives. And, you know, production companies arrive on your doorstep with cameras and you're kind of wowed by the money and the potential. But ultimately, not everybody's equipped to be on reality. And you know what? The weird thing is that bad things do happen as a consequence of being on reality. As I was pursued mercilessly by one guy, for instance, who I had to get a restraining order on. I mean, that was a big, big problem. Somebody I ended up having to have a relationship with who was lying. I mean, and you know, you're not equipped to deal with any of that stuff when you leave the show. I mean, you know.
Well, let me just say this, Duncan. If you have things in your past that you are ashamed or embarrassed about, do not go on a reality show, because it's not like you can draw a line around that reality show. Once you're on the reality show, you become a star. And once you're a star, the tabloids start researching. And guess what they found about this poor man who committed suicide, Russell Armstrong? Okay, Taylor accused him of physical and verbal abuse because she filed for divorce. Now, then the tabloids dove into his past. They found out he pleaded guilty to battery in 1997. He found out that 2 restraining orders had been filed against him, one by his ex-wife, another by an ex-girlfriend.